Okay, wonderful. Welcome to our meal prep cooking class. We are super excited to have you guys here tonight. And we're recording this so that you guys can go back and watch it as a reference because I promise you we're going to share all kinds of tips and tricks along the way as we share these amazing recipes as well. So take notes, but remember you can have the recording too. If you have not yet received the recipes from us, don't worry, we've got them for you too. So don't feel like you need to keep on top of that. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Dana, and she's going to get us started while I finish up some prep on this end. So, Dana, are you ready to take it away?
Hey guys, I'm so excited to be joining you here from the Oregon coast. And like Teresa said, we have been wanting to do this meal prep class for so many months. And it's so funny because the first recipe I'm sharing with you, I've been doing for years. And Teresa and I have been cooking together 4 years, and it was still new to her. So it's like we always have something new to share. And I want to take just a couple minutes because I know that some of my people are absolutely brand new to Bon Cook. So I'm going to do just a little rundown. We have this beautiful Bon Cook umbrella, and under that umbrella, we have these amazing French pantry products, food items from France. We have awesome accessories. I mean, how spatulas, it's like a bouquet, right? We have awesome mini chopper, which we'll talk about, and awesome Eco Chop, which we'll talk about. But the jewel in the crown of this umbrella is our 4T's product line. And so with 4T's, our strength is mealtime ease. And I just wanted to give you like my top 5 reasons why I love 4T's. Number 1, easy prep. Never prep another pan again. No spray, grease, oil, parchment foil, never again. Easy options. You can use it in a microwave. You can use it in a regular oven and all around your kitchen. So you can use it for sweets. You can use it for savories. And that is really awesome. Easy storage. You can roll your trays. I love to roll my trays and secure them with a rubber band. So save those rubber bands from your broccoli and asparagus and whatnot. Easy cleanup. Soap and water in the sink or top rack dishwasher. Oh my gosh, the 100% platinum grade silicone is amazing. That's 4, and I know you're counting with me. So my 5th thing is the mealtime ease to us is we have an amazing website full of recipes. You've got awesome consultants like Teresa and I that have, Teresa's been doing this for, I think it's 17 years now. I would not know Teresa if it weren't for this business. So not only do we have amazing products, but we have amazing people that love being in the kitchen. So if you're watching us tonight and thinking, oh my gosh, I want to be with them, we would love to share our business opportunity with you, which Teresa will do at the end. But that's your top 5, high 5, and we're going to launch right into our recipes. Now, Teresa and I really tried to edit ourselves. That being said, you'll be receiving a packet of 7 recipes, some with doubles on there. So that's the best we could do in terms of editing. So we both talk really fast, which is great. So we're going to cover a lot. The first thing I'm going to share with you is the recipe I was talking about. This is a Pioneer Woman recipe that I Bon Cookified so many years ago. Like, we have been making this at our house. Our kids make it. They both graduated from college and they make this salmon. You know, people are afraid of salmon. They're like, it's going to stink on my kitchen. It's not going to be cooked right. Oh my gosh, this is the easiest salmon to make. Now, I love Costco salmon. This is a beautiful, it's 1.5 pounds. It usually is so filleted so beautifully with no bones in it, no bones about it. Wild Alaskan salmon. So if you have a Costco near you, it freezes beautifully. You can pull it out, thaw it, and whatnot. I always like to kind of run my finger along to make sure there are no bones, but really and truly, they do a beautiful job. I remember when our kids were little, if they get a little bone in their salmon, they'd be like, the salmon bit me. So do not let the salmon bite your kids. Okay, so I've given you 2 recipes here. Now, the beauty, my husband is trying to be a nice little co-pilot here. Coho salmon, yes. Thank you for that. So 2 ways to do it. The first way, you can brush with our beautiful extra virgin olive oil and sprinkle it with our brand new fish herb blend. I'm going to open this because I'm not going to do this version tonight. Look at how beautiful those herb blends are. They're more like a loose tea than they are like the pulverized spices that you get in your grocery stores. But so if you were gonna do option A, you would take your little pastry brush, your extra virgin olive oil, brush it with the oil, sprinkle it with your fish herb blend, and sprinkle it with some salt because our herb blends do not include salt, and that really allows you to control the salt for yourself. But I've also given you my favorite blackened seasoning recipe. So this is what a batch of the blackened seasoning, that's the volume. Now we're just going to do exactly like I said with the other one. And we're going to brush it with the EVOO. If you have one of the flavored oils, like our lemon oil is beautiful here, or if you like a Tuscan herb, you could do that, or the roasted garlic, but I'm just using the EVOO because it comes in a really nifty, handy dandy kit I'm going to show you in a minute. So I'm just brushing that salmon with oil. Now my blackened seasoning does include salt, so I am not going to add salt at this time for this one, but if you were using the fish blend, again, you would. So this is a beautiful blend of, I'm going to read it off to you, paprika, salt, garlic powder, onion powder, oregano, cumin, chili powder, cracked pepper, thyme, and cayenne. This is great on salmon, shrimp, chicken, burger, steak. It's a great blend. Now, this is what one batch looks like. I usually do like 2, 3, 4 batches, and I put it in an empty jar, and then I have it all the time for everything. So I'm just going to take it, and I'm just going to sprinkle it over the top. Just like so. Now, the beauty of this recipe, I haven't even shared with you yet. It's a cold oven start method where you start your salmon in a cold oven, you set the temperature to 400, and you set your timer for 20 minutes. So what happens is that salmon is going to gradually cook as that oven preheats, and it comes out perfect every time, whether you're using the blackened version or the fish blend version. Now, at this point, I like to just pat it a little bit, just a little bit, so it adheres, and that's it. This goes into a cold oven. Set your temp for 400, set your timer for 20, perfect every time. This is our Flexi Mat. So of course the 4Ts has the pink line. This is a 4Ts Flexi Mat. Always, always on your perforated baking sheet. That gets your flexible bakeware in and out of the oven safely. That perforation allows for even browning and air circulation. So in it goes, cold oven. For 400. And I'm going to set my timer for 20 minutes. How easy was that? So the beautiful thing is you could get 2 pieces on there. We could cook tonight and eat all week. Now with salmon, I like to cook tonight and have leftovers tomorrow, and I usually don't like to extend it past that one day. That being said, the blackened seasoning really kind of keeps it from getting very fishy. And so what we love to do on day 2 is a blackened chicken Caesar, or a bowl that has grilled vegetables, or a wrap, or a taco, anything like that. You can just eat tonight a nice portion and save the rest for something fun the next day. So now, because our oven is not preheated, you usually can't do any sort of veggies alongside, because while the salmon cooks gradually, the veggies need really 400 degrees, 20 minutes, depending on your veggies. So usually if I'm doing salmon tonight with that cold oven prep, I will do my veggies steamed in the microwave. So enter our steamer set. So like I said, you can use our products in the regular oven. You can use our products in your microwave oven. And our steamer set is either the medium round mold, see that 4Ts pink line, or the large round mold, and on a microwave safe plate. And we're going to cover that with our octagonal bond mat. Now, I put this aside, but I want to show you. This is our large bond mat and large baking sheet. If you're going to do like big batches of cookies, roasted veggies, etc., you always want to grab that large set. And you'll see that I have the Flexi Mat also on a large, because I love to have those sides kind of empty so that I can use it to take my item in and out of the oven. So tonight I'm just going to do, this is our large, this is our medium. I'm going to do some 3-minute broccoli. Now, what you do is you wash your broccoli florette, And just with the water that's clinging to it from washing it, I'm going to put that right in my round mold, medium or large, really doesn't matter. And we love the stem. So usually I take and I peel the stem, a little bit of that woody part, and then I just chop that up and put that right in there too. We actually love the stem. Okay, so in that goes. I'm not going to add anything to it at this point. I'm going to take my octagonal bond mat as my lid, and I'm going to put it in the microwave for 3 minutes. Then I'll zhuzh it up a little bit on the way out. Whoops, 2 recipes down. Don't you love it? Okay, so that's going to cook for 3 minutes. Now, while that's cooking, the salmon's going, we're going to talk about awesome breakfast meal prep. So I love steel cut oats. Steel cut oats are just my breakfast jam. Now I love it with brown sugar and, you know, dried fruit and nuts, while the hubs loves it with like jalapenos and tomatoes and whatnot. So the recipe that I gave you is very basic. It's steel cut oats with water and a pinch of salt. Done deal. Now, when I meal prep, I like to get all my racks going in the oven, and I like to have all my like different fun accessories going. So I'm doing my steel cut oats in my Instant Pot. So I'm going to put it over. I'm just going to unplug it from the wall. You can also do steel cut oats in a slow cooker. You can do steel cut oats in the oven, which is Teresa's recipe in your packet. And Teresa's recipe does include, you know, cinnamon and lots of spices. So if you and your hubs and your family all like sweet oatmeal, then by all means, you can do it in your Instant Pot and really enjoy it with those spices. But so this was with the Instant Pot, it's 6 cups of water, 2 cups of steel cut oats, a pinch of salt. It cooks for 5 minutes, and then it's just been sitting there. I did this at 4:30, so it's been sitting here for like an hour. So it's cool enough that I can take it out, but you can see it's beautiful steel cut oats by Instant Pot. And I'm going to show you how I put it in one of our trays to pop it in the freezer or the fridge for the week. So the nice thing about doing it in the Instant Pot is as it sits, it thickens. And so that thickened beautifully. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so good. So what I'm going to do is, because it's just the hubs and I'm going to use our flour tray. I love the flour tray because it's a 1/2 cup capacity. And look how fun that is. So if you want to use this tray for like brownies or cakes, the top part looks like a regular old, you know, muffin top, but the bottom is this beautiful flour. So I'm going to use this. This is, like I said, a 1/2 cup capacity. I'm taking my 1/2 cup mixer and I'm going to fill each of these wells. And then I like to let it cool and then pop it into the freezer. And then once they're frozen, like awesome little hockey pucks, you can pop it into a Ziploc bag or Tupperware, whatever that looks like for you. I usually just do a Ziploc bag. I write what it is and the date it was made, just so I kind of keep track in my mind, you know, what it is and when it was made. Now, you have a bigger family. There's our broccoli. I'm going to show you how you could put these into our 6 loaf tray. So this is perfect 1/2 cup. So like I would have 1, the hubs would have 2. Look at how perfect that goes right into the freezer. But if I had a bigger family like Teresa does, then I would switch to our 6 loaf tray. This is awesome for meal prep. It's a 2 cup capacity. So I'll switch to my cup measure. Once again, you're just going to put it in your freezer. That's 1 cup. And I'm making a mess on purpose because it's so easy to clean up. 2 cups. So you get the idea, right? So right in it goes. That would be your 2 cups of steel cut oats. So there you have it. That was easy, right? Now let's grab that broccoli. We're just moving right along.
Roman, why don't you flip it over the view to me? I want to show Dana. I have the freezer in
Oh,
the.
yeah, I can
So
hear
look,
you.
you guys, this is real. This is it. The steel cut oats that I had made, and then I'm popping them out of my freezer in this 2 cup portion. So I love this 6 loaf for that purpose. So then you can store them in the bag, and you can use your mold for something else. I love doing individual lasagnas really for 2. So you can cook for 2 or cook for a big family and meal prep with this 6 loaf tray that Dana was just showing you. It's amazing.
Perfect. I love that. I love that I started it and you can finish it. I love that. Okay, so let's talk about our broccoli. So it just came out of the 3-minute microwave oven. So you always want to open it away from your face so you don't get the broccoli facial, right? And it's really steamy under there. So I usually use a utensil to open it. Look at that beautiful broccoli. Look at all that steam. Maybe I do want a broccoli facial. But look at how beautiful that is. Bright green. All those vitamins are still there. I'm going to use a tiny bit of our EVOO. And here's where I get to show you two of my favorite French pantry items. Our Daily Grind salt grinder. It has 5 different flavors of salt grinder on the top. Or our Pep Rally pepper mill. So I'm just going to do a little salt and pepper. Now the fun thing is you can take this whole thing apart and the grinder's on the top and you can switch out what flavor that you grind. So just like so. So I'm going to grind our Madagascar. And you can adjust coarse or fine. Little pepper. And for the salt, oh my gosh, I usually kind of think about my menu and pair my salt to what else I'm making. So these are your choices. Garlic paprika, lemon thyme, basil parmesan, red wine, or curry coconut. I am going to do the garlic paprika tonight because we know that that blackened salmon has garlic and paprika in it. So once again, if I wanted to change it out, I could. You just unscrew the bottom, switch out what flavor you're going to use. Once again, you can adjust the grind, and I'm just going to put a little bit of that over the top, and we are done. We could do some of our herb blend on here. We could get a lemon and squeeze it with the Cadillac of all citrus presses. A little lemon is good on there. Parmesan cheese is good on there. So this is a beautiful side dish. Of course, I could have piled it high and deep for a bigger family, but that is awesome. The last thing I'm going to talk about before I punt it back over to Teresa, how am I doing on time? Oh my gosh, my thumbs up. Okay, we've got 10 minutes and 55 seconds left on the salmon. She'll kick it back to me when that timer goes off. But let's talk about this. So we've got the oven, it's preheating, right, to cook that salmon beautifully. Once it's preheated to 400, we need to do something with that oven, right? So we're going to do roasted apples and pears. This is actually one of Teresa's recipes. This is 2 apples, 2 pears. We like to cut them into nice 1-inch chunks. To this, I'm going to add a teaspoon of cinnamon. Now let's talk about spices for a minute. If it's something that you can get from the French pantry, I highly recommend it because the quality is amazing. So like your salt, your peppers, your herb blend, we've got tapenades, aiolis, jams, you name it. But if you need something like garam masala, for example, I really love Penzeys. So Penzeys is something that I reach for. They're in some markets, they have a couple in Portland. Or you can also order online. So Penzeys is awesome. That's also where I got this big empty jar for my big old blackened seasoning. So to this, I added a teaspoon of Penzeys, cinnamon. And the recipe doesn't call for it, but I just found this at Trader Joe's. And if you're one of my customers, you know I love Trader Joe's. They now have bourbon vanilla bean paste. So I'm just going to add a teaspoon. It's brand new. I'm just going to add a teaspoon of vanilla bean paste. Now, vanilla bean paste is awesome because it has actually the little vanilla beans in it. And you can use it teaspoon for teaspoon for regular vanilla, like your regular vanilla extract. I'm just going to use a little piece of apple to get all that. Then I'm going to take my red signature spatula, toss it up. So these are all ready. When that salmon comes out, I'm going to put these apples and pears right in. Now, they're delicious on top of the steel cut oats. You can use them on ice cream. If you want that yummy dessert without a lot of calories, I will oftentimes throw these in, and it's a great way to use up like those apples and pears that maybe are a little past their prime for eating raw. You know what I mean? But oh my gosh, I wish you could smell this. It smells so good. Now, when it comes out, then you hit it with some honey, and I love that Manuka honey, and I just toss it in there as it comes out, and that honey will melt all over it. And it's so yummy tomorrow on our oatmeal. So that is that, and I'm going to pass it back to Teresa. Once that salmon's done and she's done with her recipes, I'll show you what that salmon looks like when it comes out. And of course, if you have any questions, we're going to save those for the end. And thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed those few recipes. And back to you, Miss Teresa.
Awesome. Thank you, Dana. And I told Dana earlier today, I'm just gonna do one of these recipes. And then I decided, because my awesome sous chef Roman decided he would help me tonight, I can do all of this. So you guys are in for a treat. So Roman, who is yeah, pretty much almost taller than me now. So, okay, so what we've got going on here is we're talking meal prep. And in our family, we eat a lot of chicken. Sometimes I'll do whole chickens, and I always do an extra one so we can do some of these leftovers recipes with them. And a lot of times do chicken pieces. So everything I'm going to share with you tonight, you can do with starting with a roasted chicken or starting with chicken pieces. Okay. So the first recipe, we're going to jump ahead because we're going to go with the one that's going to take the longest. So we're going to do my cauliflower nachos. These are so good topped with our leftover chicken. Now, these cauliflower nachos, you guys, you can eat them as a snack for your football, like we had football games yesterday, right? You could do it as a complete meal, which Chance and I love. My older boys like to eat the regular nachos, same idea, but with just chips. Or you could turn it into a rice bowl. So there's lots of flexibility with this recipe. It's a lot of fun. So first it's gonna start with one head of cauliflower, and you can see I've kind of sliced it thin like a chip, okay? So then I've already done a little drizzle of our EVOO. You could also use our French pantry garlic oil. You could use Tuscan herb. You decide cilantro. That's a good one. I actually should pull that out. We love cilantro. But now we're going to layer it with some different spices. So like Dana mentioned, we can use French pantry spices, or you can use what's in your spice cabinet. This is onion powder. And then I'm going to use cumin. I love cumin. And of course, some chili powder. Our zesty Mediterranean herb blend's out of stock right now. But when that is in stock, or you have some of that, that's a nice way to kind of kick it up a bit as well. And then we're gonna salt and pepper this. Now I'm just gonna salt it. I got plenty of seasoning, I don't need pepper, but I'm gonna salt this with our garlic paprika salt. This one has actually surprised me more than any of these salts. I knew that lemon thyme would be one of my favorites, basil parmesan, but I had no idea we were gonna use this garlic paprika as much as we did. It's quite tasty, and I'm gonna use this in almost all of my recipes tonight. So now I've tossed this cauliflower. Look how amazing that looks. Now I'm gonna put this on my Flexi mat. So some of you have a Flexi Pat, some of you have some different flexible pieces. We're moving to this new Fortiz line, and I'm loving it. It's a little bit sturdier. So this is that lower edge, about 1 inch, but it's a stronger edge. So it's gonna hold up better in the oven. And that was really the goal with Fortiz, was for it to be designed for the use of meats and passing our olive oil tests and stuff. FlexiPan, we could use it that way too, but FlexiPan was designed for baking more than cooking. So this is really fun to kind of explore and see the benefits of this new Fortiz line, which is awesome. So you can see I've got my oven preheated to 400 degrees. I've laid that cauliflower out there nicely, and now Roman's gonna go throw that in the oven for me, buddy, in the bottom piece. And then while that's cooking, we're gonna get started on the next thing, which if you guys have watched me cook before, you've watched me do steamed potatoes, mashed potatoes, or cauliflower mash in the large round mold, just like Dana did the broccoli. But tonight I'm doing something a little different, kind of fun, is I've got sweet potatoes, and yes, sweet potatoes come white. Did you know that? You can get a red sweet potato, you can get a purple sweet potato, but you can also get a sweet potato that's white. And then guess what? It blends well with the cauliflower, so the cauliflower gets hidden. A lot of times you want a mix of the cauliflower and the potatoes, and these are gonna cook the same rate, which is really exciting. So now you could do one or the other. You don't have to combine it like this, but this is fun. Just get a mix of different nutrients, and you put that to the side. And so simply put, I'm not gonna add any oil, water, nothing to this. There's enough moisture in even a potato to cook this perfectly. So we're gonna cover it with our octagonal bond mat, and you can see the sturdiness of the Fortiz. We love this large round mold, super sturdy. And then Roman, I'm gonna ask you to put that in the microwave like that. Make sure it's covered completely. You're a microwave pro. In 8 minutes, please. Okay, so then while that is steaming, I'm gonna move on to one of my brand new recipes I'm super excited about. And this was the one I was just gonna talk about, but I decided I can show it to you from start to finish. It's really fun. So we're gonna start with, I've got some oil in this pan on the back burner, and I'm sorry, I know I'm turning my head, I hope you can hear me okay. I've already put a little olive oil in there, but the reality is you want 2 tablespoons of oil in the pan and let it heat up. Then the most essential tool for meal prep is our Eco Chop, you guys. If you own it, you know it. If you don't own it, you need to get it. If you already own it, you probably should own more than one, right, Norman? What do we have, like 4? Okay, so we're gonna chop onions to saute. And I also love my mini herb chopper for doing garlic, but we're gonna just do this quick and easy because I know everybody's short on time. And I'm just gonna throw the garlic in with the onion. So we've got a whole onion and 2 cloves of garlic, and we're gonna chop this up, lid on, and we're just gonna pull it real quick. Okay, so look how easy that was and amazing, okay? So now we're gonna go ahead and throw this, yes, Roman?
Did you use the mandolin to slice the cauliflower there?
I did not, you could use the mandolin, but I just used my fancy knife to get that cauliflower nice and thin, which was great. But yes, the mandolin is so good for lots of those purposes. Our mandolin right now is out of stock though, so if you own one, be happy that you own one. I'm gonna tell you guys, if you find something you want, don't wait, because if it's gone, sometimes you don't know when it's coming back or if it's coming back. So we're gonna do this last batch of onions here. And then we're gonna throw that in to the pan. You wanna do that for me? Throw it in oil and start stirring that up.
Hey,
So-
you don't need a plate underneath the 4 T's?
No, you don't. That's really one of the benefits of the new large round mold is that it's sturdier, and so it's easy to get in and out of the microwave. Our previous large round mold was a little bit floppy, and so you really wanted to have that plate under it. Now, if you're unsure of getting things in and out of the microwave, then feel free to put that plate underneath it, but I do not need it with the new 4T's line, which I love. Okay, so Roman's gonna get that going, and then while he's doing that, I wanna show you what I've done with the chicken, because I've already pre-shredded it, but I wanna show you. So this is what's left of our big batch of chicken that we did last night and ate, and then we've got, of course, my other son, middle son, came home from soccer literally 30 minutes ago, and he was like, "Where's all the chicken?" And he wanted to add it to a burrito he's making for himself. So in our house with these ever-growing active boys, I always have protein on hand. I mean, for myself too, because the only way to make sure I get enough protein is to have it ready to go. So I do a lot of batch cooking, and I really, I gotta say, I'm only down 1 boy who's off at college, but I have noticed that our family eats less when he's gone. And so I do have leftovers, and I find myself freezing them in that 6-loaf tray, which is awesome. So I do imagine that even once all the boys are gone and Chance and I empty nesters, which is not that far off, that I am gonna still be doing some batch cooking, because I love to cook, but not every night. So I really like, and luckily I have a house full of boys that don't mind eating leftovers or reinvented leftovers. So chicken, this is just one example of how I put it in Eco Chop. And then when you pull the chicken, you kind of go a little bit slower to get it started. It might get stuck, you might have to do some short strokes to get it going, but then once it gets going, you can pull it. And it's the easiest way to shred chicken up. So this is fantastic. Tonight, I'm showing you, we're gonna put this in my white bean chicken chili. We're also gonna put this on the cauliflower nachos, but this is, again, I had one to put in a burrito tonight. We can do this with enchiladas, you can do a chicken quesadilla, but your chicken's already shredded. I also really like to have it this way to throw on top of a green salad that I might take to work or something. So it's great for lunch as well. So just wanted to show you how simple and easy that is to have that shredded chicken with the Eco Chop. Now, the next thing that we're gonna do to top our soup once it's finished is we're also gonna put chopped bacon on top. So we cooked bacon in the rectangular FlexiPat Flexi mold yesterday. And so this was already cooked, and I'm just gonna chop that up in Eco Chop too. So you can see all of these are going together, so it doesn't matter. I don't have to clean the Eco Chop in between, but I can easily chop up my bacon so much more easily than using a knife, so much fresher than those imitation bacon bits. So this is gonna go on top of our soup. Chance, you wanna grab me a soup bowl so that I can show them this when it's ready? Okay, so Roman now has been doing the onions and garlic back there. And so now to the onions and garlic, we're gonna add 1 can of diced green chili. So Roman, you wanna add that and stir that in? Thank you very much. Perfect. So he's gonna add that, thank you. Okay, so then I'm gonna talk about what herbs are gonna go in this chili as well. So I cooked the chicken, and I meant to show you this part too, but you really don't need to see it. It's super simple. So we put the chicken in our rectangular, it's still here, from last night. So we've got our rectangular Fortis mold. And so I put the chicken pieces in there. Of course, I had a baking sheet underneath it. I brush it with olive oil. Last night I used our Tuscan herb oil. Love, love, love that one. And then our chicken herb blend. This chicken herb blend, you guys, is so yummy. You can see I'm almost out of it. But let me tell you the herbs that are in there. It's got a za'atar mix, which is sesame, thyme, and sumac, and then onions, parsley, oregano, black peppercorn, sugar, and marjoram. Love, love, love this blend. It's really flavorful, but yet it complements so many other flavors. So I did this with the garlic paprika and salt, garlic paprika salt. Then now we're gonna go ahead and in the soup, this chili I'm making, it kind of looks more like a soup, but it's a white bean chicken chili. So I'm gonna put cumin in there, the chicken herb blend, and then we're gonna use our garlic paprika salt. I'm just gonna grind it into here. So like as Dana mentioned, this daily grind salt grinder comes with 5 different types of salts, and they're all in here. You can change them out, take the top part off, which is the grinder, and then change it to the other salt of your liking. Now there is already pepper in the chicken herb blend, but I'm gonna add a little extra Telecheri because we just love that Telecheri pepper. I cannot get enough of it. So we're just gonna go and add a little extra pepper in here because why not? Okay, so now remember Roman's got the green chilies there, and then he's gonna add these salts and spices to the onion and garlic and green chili mixture. And then he's also going to add 3 cups of shredded chicken at this point too. So we're improvising because I need to get a little bit more chicken, but we're just pretending like that's 3 cups. So go ahead and stir all of that together, Roman, that would be awesome, okay? So then, once we've got that blended, I mean, this soup is so super duper easy, you guys. So the next step is gonna be to add our white beans that I've drained and rinsed, is amazing, and our chicken broth. And then we're gonna cook that down for 10 minutes. So Roman, once that's combined, I'm gonna have you add all of that chicken broth with this chicken broth. It's 5 cups of chicken broth and then 1 can of beans. I'm gonna throw that in there, and I'm gonna add the broth. Then you're gonna cover it and you're gonna let that cook for 10 minutes, okay? Once it's done cooking, I'm gonna take it off the heat, and this is when it gets really yummy. So, I mean, not that it isn't already yummy, but we're gonna go ahead and add 1/2 cup. You can use sour cream or Greek yogurt. I always love plain Greek yogurt. It's something we always have on hand. My family doesn't notice a difference, and it bumps up protein, it's healthier, so why not? Then we're gonna add fresh lime juice, the juice of 1 lime. So as Dana mentioned, we have a Cadillac of citrus presses. So I'm gonna juice my lime. Look at all that lime I can get out, that lime juice with this amazing citrus press. And then we're going to stir this up, and then we're gonna show you how we serve it, okay? And then while we're doing that, I heard we didn't set a timer on the cauliflower. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out here in a minute. But let me stir this so that we melt that yummy, yummy yogurt, and it's getting nice and creamy. It smells so good. I wish that you guys were here to smell it too. You can just imagine that. Okay, perfect. I'll get those in a minute. Roman's telling me my cauliflower and potatoes are done. I'm gonna set that off to the side real quick because I wanna show you. So the roasted cauliflower should go for about 15 minutes at 400 degrees. But so that I can show you the end result of everything together, I'm gonna pull that out of the oven real quick. And I'm gonna do the next step of that. So Roman, you can find, okay, it's thin enough, this is pretty good. I like my cauliflower to have a little crunch to it too, so that's all right. So then we're gonna leave that like that. Sizzle, sizzle. Okay, the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna top this with some yummy toppings, which of course we're gonna use my Eco Chop, which where did the other Eco Chop go? Isn't that funny? I lost my, oh, you have it. Where'd you put it? Thank you. There we go. Sorry. Too many things going on at once. Okay, so this is another fun thing about the Eco Chop, that meal prep. Okay, so we're gonna put some yummy, colorful peppers and onions on top of, and we can do it all at once, of the cauliflower. Okay, so we put that in there. Look at this. Let's say the before. I guess I'm gonna move it back here so you guys can see it. That's hot. Okay, that's 5 poles. Look how gorgeous those are. So then we got some nice color here. We're gonna throw on top of our nachos. Yum, yum, yum. I wish you guys could smell all these flavors we've got going on in here. Chance, are there any questions in the comment box while I'm kind of pausing to decorate these or?
No, not right now.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so then from there, we're gonna add our chicken. Put that go right in front of me. A little chicken on top. You see, this is just a meal all in one. And again, you can serve this leftovers over a bowl of rice. I like to just eat it plain. I've also eaten this over a bed of spinach. I love spinach. So you can do whatever you want with that. Then, of course, cheese. Now, I definitely have had people here before that don't do dairy, and you can skip the cheese. You can use a dairy-free cheese, you can do less cheese, you name it. But we like cheese in this house, we do a lot of it. So I'm gonna throw that on there. And then what I like to do, because we're doing nachos for pal thai, but I like to press them down a little bit. Now, usually I add black beans, but I went to grab the black beans and they were actually kidney beans. I thought I had black beans in my pantry, but I didn't. So I wanna show you what that looks like. I'm gonna put that in the oven, I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, so now back to the soup, because I gotta show you how we're gonna top this. And then, remember, you can stop stirring that. Again, ladle. Then you're good. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. We've got this skimming ladle, which I use as a regular ladle as well. But the skimming ladle is awesome, you guys. It has these little holes in it, so you can skim the fat off. You can also drain stuff out that you don't want the chunks in, which is great. You name it. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. Okay, so then you're gonna serve your white bean chicken chili with a little bit of avocado on top. So what I did is I just sliced my avocado in there, and then I love the 72 mini spatulas to pull some avocado out. Look how cleanly that comes out of that. And then we're gonna put just a little bit of cilantro on top. You could chop it up if you want. Does this look amazing or what? And I'm gonna put some more avocado on there, but that is yummy. A meal in itself. Save it for lunch. Oh, we've got the bacon. That was the other thing. And some bacon. Okay, so there's my white bean chicken chili. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, so then we've got same thing when those nachos come out. I'm gonna top those with some avocado, tomatoes, you name it. You go for it. It's amazing. So now let me get back to the potatoes, which I'm gonna grab because I don't want Roman to burn himself. Hold on a second. You could probably do it just fine, but as a mom, you can see I'm pulling it. It's hot, but like Dana said, you get the broccoli facial or the potato cauliflower facial. But these guys, oh my gosh. So now you can season them up. This is what I do. I just did a small amount tonight because I did a ton last night. But typically I would fill this full because then we would have it, save it all week long. This is a great base that I can put that cauliflower nacho on top of as well. I can serve this. Last night I served this as a side dish to our chicken, but we've got this masher. And I'm gonna tell you, every time I show you guys this masher, somebody goes and buys it because they love it so much. So here's our large round mold masher right in there. I've got my cauliflower with my sweet potatoes. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. Now, the reason I'm not gonna season it right now is because of, like I said, I just don't know what I'm gonna wanna serve it with. You can put some cinnamon on here. You can put a little bit of our lemon oil and some cinnamon, super yummy. You can add the chicken blend. You can add all kinds of spices, you name it. But it is so super easy and so yummy. And look at how I just mashed up that yummy cauliflower and sweet potato mash. Is that amazing, you guys? So do a ton of this. You can portion it out. Like if you are taking lunch to work and you've got some bento boxes, you could portion it out. If you want to just have it for dinner, you know, some people, they like to meal prep all week. They put it in their containers and they're ready to go. Other people like to batch cook like myself, and then you can freeze it for weeks on end. So what I'm showing you right now is you could meal prep on a Sunday or Monday and eat for the rest of the week easily with these recipes. And lots of great inspiration, I hope, that you got from that. So lots of things to use. And then, yes, Chance?
Where did you find those white sweet potatoes?
Oh my gosh, they're at every grocery store. You wouldn't even know until you pay attention. But if you go to the grocery store and it will say sweet potatoes, and it has more of a white skin to it, like a regular potato. And then the traditional potato that you guys, you know, we think of a sweet potato as an orange color, that has the darker skin to it. And so it's usually called like a garnet sweet potato, but their sweet potatoes, I honestly, a lot of times can find them more easily than an orange sweet potato, which is pretty amazing. So, and then as Dana was mentioning with the apples and pears, I was gonna make those as well tonight, but I ran out of time, but I love to make a huge batch of those. And then when I get that little desire to have something sweet at the end of the night, I can have those guilt-free. They also really go well on the oatmeal in the morning as well. I love to also put those on a salad, which is great. And so lots of different options. And so what we really hope tonight, and I'm still going to show you this cauliflower nachos from, let me just see if the cheese is melting on those yet. But I want to say to you guys is we have a few days left in January. We have some really incredible January specials I don't want you to miss. And then we also have an amazing meal prep collection. So even if you have a lot of our products, our meal prep collection is a great option for everyone, because there's some pieces in there like the Eco Chop that I know you guys are going to want multiples of, or you can get the meal prep collection because it's an amazing savings, and then save that Eco Chop as a gift. Guarantee you there's plenty of people on your gift list you can give it to. And then you can collect some of those other pieces we were talking about for the meal prep. So I encourage you to reach out to myself and Dana. Let us help you get the pieces that are going to help you really have some great tools in your kitchen to help with meal prep and be able to do these amazing recipes and more. So I'm going to go ahead. Dana, are you ready to kick it back and see your salmon? And then I'll show my nachos after that.
I am. It's all ready to go.
All right.
So this is, it's cool enough that I can actually handle the preferred baking sheet again, but check that out. Beautiful blackened salmon. And you can see, like, you know, sometimes when you get a piece of salmon, it's obviously so overcooked. It has all that white on it. And you can see a little bit of the white around the edges of this. That's albumin. So think about albumin as like an egg white, right? You don't want that because it's just overdone. This method where you start with that cold oven and gradually increase the heat, so beautiful. Inside, it's going to be just flaking and beautiful. You can cut it into portions at this point. But I really hope you'll try this recipe. The apples and pears, I think they're like a minute out, so I'm going to show you those too. Might as well. Woo. So beautiful apples and pears. Yep, there's the timer. I'm just going to toss these with honey and use them just like Teresa and I said. Really hope you'll try this recipe too. And back to you, Teresa.
Oh, sorry, you're too fast, Dana. So we're covering that. I was tasting the soup while we were off camera, and it is so good, this chicken chili. It's amazing. So you guys have got to make it. So let me check the nachos real quick so I can show you those. Oh, wrong oven. Oh, they look so good. Okay, look at these. You're not even going to miss the chips. Look at those delicious nachos. Are those amazing? And then same thing with the soup. You're going to top with some avocado and also some tomatoes. So you'll wait and put these on at the end, like I'm doing right now, and then some cilantro as well. So we're just go ahead and put some avocado, all these yummy, tasty ingredients. I really challenge you guys to do some of these as we move into Super Bowl. Try and be being healthy, which, but also encourage you to try and do this as a meal, you guys, because it really is a tasty meal. So look at that deliciousness. It's hot, so I'm gonna hold it up to the camera. And then look at that. I hope we inspired you guys with some great recipes and meal prep ideas tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the recording off. And then we'll ask questions after that. If you guys want to unmute yourselves and ask questions, or we can go back to any questions that were in the chat box. Thanks for joining us. Hope you join us at our next meal prep class.
Thank you.